43 drivers will start this field today. 334 laps for 500 miles, a purse of over $4.3 million. The fuel window 60 to 63, 65 laps. Race record was set last year by Terry Labonte at over 144 miles an hour.
We'll be riding with 7 different drivers in today's 500-mile race. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Budweiser Cam, starting from 4th position. Mike Skinner with the Lowe's onboard camera in his Richard Childress Chevrolet. He'll go off 11th. Bobby Labonte has the Circuit City camera inside his Joe Gibbs Pontiac, starting 14th. Ricky Rudd with the Texaco Haviland camera in his Robert Yates Racing Ford, the 20th starter. And the Siemens camera is in Dave Blaney's Bill Davis Pontiac from 24th spot. Johnny Benson coming oh so close to that first win. Here's Benson, the Lycos.com camera in his Tyler Jett Pontiac, and Tony Stewart with the Home Depot camera in his Joe Gibbs Pontiac from 38th position. Let's go pit side and Bill Stevens.
Are debuting brand new cars here in Texas this weekend. One of the surprising aspects of that is Dale Earnhardt. He's got a brand new car here. He did not run the car here in Texas, and he won in Atlanta with. Now that's kind of a surprise.
Sorry, Bill. We'll be back to you in a moment. Let's try Dick Berggren on pit road.
I'm listening to Mark Martin in the number 6 car. That is one of the fastest cars out here. They are so comfortable with the setup that they have in that thing, even though they only had 1 practice session on the race setup. They didn't touch it this morning, Mike. He has won more than half the stock car races out here. Let's go to Ralph.
Dick, as far as the front row is concerned, this race is really going to start on lap number 3. Terry Labonte is going to make sure he leads lap number 1. They're hoping to help Kevin LePage lead lap number 2, who is sitting right next to him. That will give each of those teams 5 bonus points for leading a lap. After that, it's every man for himself.
Trying to tame Texas. Boy, that's been a tall order here over the short history of this beautiful speed plant. The track, which has 173,000 seats, say that they have more season ticket holders than do the Dallas Cowboys. This track has been very successful with both NASCAR and Indy Racing League events since it opened. Ken Squire?
The wind is gusting now, sometimes 10 to 15 miles per hour from the north to the south. That means they got a little kick going into turn number 1. It follows them down the front straightaway. Michael?
Getting set for this race to start. They're about half a mile away.
You can see them zigzagging back and forth. They're getting a little heat in the tires and also cleaning the racing surface of the race tire.
It's cool out there. The folks in the stands, sweaters, jackets, things are about to heat up.
Makes for faster racing. Cool weather, overcast, tires will adhere well to the pavement, and the engines will breathe well as well.
Pace car is in. The 4th DirecTV 500 is set to go green, and we're racing in Texas.
Assuring himself of being able to lead that first lap.
Kevin LePage from the outside pole did not quite get the go at the green, and Scott Pruitt has slipped underneath him for 2nd spot. LePage is 3rd.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. there in the 8th car is in 4th place. He has a very strong car in practice, even as good as anyone.
You can see a lot of side-by-side racing back in the pack. Those first 5 or 6 cars are single file.
Dale Jarrett 5th, Steve Park in 6th, rookie Jeff Fuller in 7th. Then here's the first side-by-side battle. Ward Burton, after that practice crash, he and Jerry Nadeau tussle for 8th place.
Boy, it was amazing, Mike, that after that crash, he'd gotten no laps on that Pontiac that he's driving here today. Before qualifying, went out and qualified at 9th, and looks like he has a good car for race setup.
Riding with Mike Skinner, that's Ward Burton just ahead.
Mike, you can see how flat the track is as they enter the turns. That's one thing they told me about the racetrack. If you start in, it's very, very flat, and the car floats into the corner.
Lead change, turn 1, Scott Pruitt. A NASCAR rookie, well, pretty much in name only. He's tamed champ cars, sports cars. Here he is in the Cup circuit.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s moved into third place now as they go down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Earnhardt Jr. looking over the rear spoiler. Labonte, here he comes.
Down on the inside, made it look easy. Boy, he has some horsepower under the hood of that Budweiser Chevrolet.
So Scott Pruitt has led in NASCAR for the first time. And this also the first race that Terry Labonte has led since Rockingham back in October.
Terry backslid about 3 or 4 spots, so he's now back up to speed, but he got caught on the outside, Ned, and they just can't go when they get on the high side of the racetrack.
He was not going to take any chances up there in that second groove. It'll work in as time goes by, but right now the faster way around this racetrack is right down on the bottom of the racetrack. And so Terry not wanting to take any chances. Too much racing yet to go to take chances.
Here's Dale Earnhardt in 15th, and last week's winner, Rusty Wallace, the number 2, in 16th. Matt Kenseth finished second late last night in that Busch Grand National event, and he's back there in 16th position. Upper left of your screen, red there like Stacy Compton. That 21st position means that he's lost a spot. Drivers in green there on the upper left, those positions are drivers who gained a position or more since the last lap.
Boy, Scott Pruitt's making this thing look pretty easy in the 32 car. He took the lead, and he's actually stretching just a little bit, but there's some cars behind him moving up pretty quick. One of them, Dale Jarrett.
Little contact down in turn 1. Ricky Rudd got traded a little paint with somebody there to no consequence, as we've been green for all of these first 6 laps. There's that battle. It was Chad Little on the outside of Ricky Rudd down in turn 1.
And they touched again. Yes. They've run almost a lap side by side. They said, hey, Chad, I better get on by you, buddy.
7 of Michael Waltrip moves up underneath. There's the 42 in blue and green. That's Kenny Irwin. And Johnny Benson trying to move up as they've pinned that 97 of Chad Little to the outside. From Ricky Rudd's car, looking back at Michael Waltrip's number 7. And up front, things have heated up for the lead.
It has that. The 8 car there, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has moved closer and closer on Scott Pruitt, and he brought Kevin LePage right along with him.
Your ride with Dale Earnhardt Jr., defending Busch Grand National champion, as he looks over the Ford of Scott Pruitt.
Well, Mike, we were right here when this young man won the Busch Grand National race a couple of years back there, and he won his first race ever right here. He loves this track.
They run 1-2. Pruitt the leader. Earnhardt Jr. in second. Now, Terry Labonte, who's led 3 of the 4 Texas races, including this one, has dropped back to 6th place. Let's go to pit road. What's the problem?
Mike, that number 5 has gotten pretty loose. The Chevy not handling the way he needs it to. So he is just going to drop back a little bit, try to be patient, and get that car a little bit tighter when they get him in for their first round of pit stops.
Pruitt being pressured by Earnhardt Jr. And now back comes Kevin LePage in that purple and white 16.
He fell back a little bit there at the beginning, but he has moved right back up into 3rd place and in contention for the lead.
Now here's the first group of the first pack. Now the field is split into 2 large packs, and this is the first part of the first one as things have strung out kind of quickly here at Texas in these first 10 laps. Now this all the first group of cars, and then there's about 3 seconds back to where Ricky Rudd leads that second large group of cars that comprises the second half of the field, and they lack about half a lap to these 3 leaders.
Yeah, and just behind them, Dale Jarrett's moving in there, Steve Park and Terry Labonte. So it's going to be a big train of cars fighting as Dale Earnhardt Jr. tries to take the lead.
For more on this outstanding Winston Cup rookie, Dick Berggren.
Well, Earnhardt Jr. won his very first ever Busch Series race right here in Texas, so he came filled with excitement and enthusiasm. But his crew is telling him, be cool. See who you're running with up there. He's running with a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience here at Texas. But then again, neither does anybody else in this field. Mike?
He just backed off something. I don't know why he slowed down so much. And cars behind him backed off a little bit. Kevin LePage backed off. I don't know if they hit a slick spot and they thought something was going on out there, but they backed off, and Scott Pruitt has taken off a lot of position changing back there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Well, you're right. Steve Park went from 5th to 3rd right now, and he's moved in on Earnhardt Jr. Something happened. They may have had a little contact in that group, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. definitely checked up.
He was right up and under Scott Pruitt 2 laps ago, and now he's fallen 7/10 of a second behind. We look back at the 3rd place car of Steve Park, and he also drives for